I'm Kim from This Old Baker, and we're going to make classic white bread. I love the smell of fresh baked bread. It's one of my favorite things. I'm going to start it with 2 cups of warm water between 105 and 110 degrees. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar, and I'm just going to let that dissolve until the sugar's completely dissolved into the warm water. And once it does that, I give it a little stir. I'm going to add 1½ tablespoons of yeast, and I use Bella Rise. In a separate bowl, I'm going to put 5½ cups of all-purpose flour and 1½ teaspoons of just regular salt. Give that a good little mix, get it all combined. And then I'm going to go back to my yeast, which you can see is bloomed. He's all puffed up. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to put my paddle attachment on. My bread hook was in the dishwasher, so I like my paddle attachment anyway. I'm going to get it started, and I'm going to start working in that 5½ cups of flour. And I just have it on low. I'm going just on the lowest speed, but I just want to work it in there and not throw flour everywhere, because you know I'm a flour disaster. I put flour all over the place. But what I want to do is just add the dry mixture to the wet mixture, 1 cup at a time, until I get a soft dough formed. Once I get to that really good soft dough stage, I like to pull it out, put it on a floured surface, and knead it by hand. That's the way I was taught to make bread. Now, if you don't want to knead it by hand, you can always knead it in the mixer for 3 to 5 minutes. It's totally your choice on how you want to do this. But I'm going to take it out, put it on a floured surface. Then once I get it all kneaded, I'm putting it into a greased bowl, and you can see me tossing it around, and I'm going to cover it with saran wrap. I'm going to let it rise for 1 hour. It's already risen up, and you can see how puffy it is now, and I'm going to punch it down. Divide it into half, shape it into loaves, and place it into greased bread pans. And I'm using I think it's an 8½ by 4.4 pans, I think, are what I'm using. They're the smaller bread pans, because when I put this in, I'm going to cover it again with saran wrap, and I spray the bottom side of the saran wrap so it doesn't necessarily cling to the top of my bread and tear it up when I take it off. But my goal is to get it at least 1 inch over the top. And I was using a bigger pan. It was too big. I couldn't get a good rise. I had these wide little flat loaves, which is another story. But this is why I go with a small standard bread pan. This is the one that I always started out with. I'm just going to get it in there, kind of get it spread out into the loaf so it's in the corners, and I'm going to cover it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you can see it really rose. I got a little late getting to it. It actually went a little past 30, into the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. I'm going for that nice golden brown. I'm going to butter the top of it and slice and enjoy. Like and follow for more.